with plastic. I said, babe, it's, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
First carry for Devontae Booker. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On play action, it's Keenum. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they are silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Detroit! They'll look to throw here. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Escaping the pressure right. He's airing it out for Williams. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Benjamin with it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're doing.
And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Melvin Gordon, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll run on first down. Nelson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now, because what you're hearing is, can someone...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanking the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
The Charger offense making their way back out there. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the...
And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Tyrell Williams, 42 yards. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now 14-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
False start, offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Denzel Perryman coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he'll be taken down at the 18. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on third down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. The drive starts with Devontae Booker. He finds an opening past the 40. Devontae Booker, 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Devontae Booker, 75 yards, and the Broncos cut into that lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. Plenty of scoring here already. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
On play action, they'll throw. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. A good pickup there at 22. Booker on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 24. From the gun, here's Keenum. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And this one is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. Fancy footwork at the 45. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there by Gordon. 43 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now Gordon on first down. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
The Chargers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, Keenum. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the 50, it's Keenum. And his throw is incomplete. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them. And they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll buy some time right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Looking to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 18 yards to pick up there. He was out there waving his arms, and when you get a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Over the middle, complete. That's Carroll. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Robert Kimdichie able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
They're going to run. This is Gordon. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. Gordon can't break through against this defensive line, and the Bronco defense comes up big.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it, but 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more, and, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him, 11 yards and a 1st down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Brooklyn?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
On 1st down, Nelson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you...
This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 46 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in, but when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw here. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Henry, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the...
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Keenum. And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Well, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Desperation time for Keenum on fourth. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and now it's second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 41 yards. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here comes Nelson. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum. Got his man on the comebacker. It's Neal. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they got themselves a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Sims. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. And they take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Devontae Booker, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos get a bit closer. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other two-thirds, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Extra point good by Hopkins. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Time for a break. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So the Broncos coming out now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call?
He coughs up the foot. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They go play action here on first down. He's airing it out for Williams. This is intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Keenum now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. 3rd and long. It's Keenum. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Keenum, got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season.